This is News Today with WDW News Today. I'm Tom Corliss of WDWNT.com. Please like this video, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell to make sure you never miss the latest from the Disney theme parks all around the world. Here now the news for August 21st, 2024. Disney Parks Chairman Josh D'Amaro has released an official statement regarding the pending wrongful death lawsuit of a guest who suffered a fatal allergic reaction after dining at Raglan Road, a third-party restaurant in Disney Springs. The incident took place in October of 2023. The guests consumed dishes at Raglan Road after being informed that they were prepared safely and were allergen-free. Disney recently filed a motion to dismiss the lawsuit filed by the guest's husband, citing an arbitration waiver the guest had signed when making a Disney Plus account. Now, D'Amaro's released a statement saying, "At Disney, we strive to put humanity above all other considerations. With such unique circumstances as the ones in this case, we believe this situation warrants a sensitive approach to expedite a resolution for the family who have experienced such a painful loss. As such, we've decided to waive our right to arbitration and have the matter proceed in court." The statement indicates that Disney is withdrawing their motion for dismissal. Their original argument was that they should not be included in the lawsuit as Raglan Road is a third-party company, meaning not owned nor operated by the Walt Disney Company. The lawsuit states that Disney, quote, advertises and represents to the public that food allergies and/or the accommodation of persons with food allergies is a top priority at its parks and resorts, including Disney Springs, and that patrons or guests may consult with a chef or special diet-trained cast member before placing an order. After the incident became public, Raglan Road updated their website to state that they cannot guarantee that any dish we prepare is free from gluten or allergen or free from cross-contact. This is a thing they'll say to you at restaurants. I've been with people with allergies at restaurants at Disney World, both third-party and operated by the Walt Disney Company. It's very common that they'll tell you that there's a chance of cross-contamination. Most restaurants cannot promise you that there's no cross-contamination. It's also kind of illegal. Coverall, because again, like, you know, it's a working kitchen and things move around, right? So that's always a thing. This is probably the right move. Disney got a lot of negative press for the Disney Plus thing, which was, you know, as they said the other day, lawyers going to lawyer, right? They wanted to get their way out of this lawsuit as they felt they weren't responsible, as it's not a restaurant they own or operate. But in fairness, the Walt Disney World website does say that. So you know, Disney does lease that restaurant space to Raglan Road, and if they're giving that promise to all guests, then it shouldn't matter if it's third party or not. Good on Disney for coming out and saying this and just letting it be. Disney, look, I think Disney's going to pay no matter what. I think they would rather do it in arbitration, but at this point, I think they had to do something given all the negative press. I mean, this story made it everywhere. Everywhere I went this week, I saw this story. And I don't watch other Disney news outlets, so we're talking like on the real news. So a move had to be made, and this was likely the right one to make. A new section of Thematic pathway has been added in Adventureland at the Magic Kingdom. The new pavement is located just after the bridge into the land outside of the Club 33 location. The new pathway is reminiscent in some cases of Pandora, the world of Avatar, in that it has this sort of green, mossy texture to it. We also notice it has cracks, embedded rocks, and paw prints. The embellishments in the pavement are similar to those you'll find in other places, maybe like Fantasyland Storybook Circus, where you'll find animal prints along with peanuts. Don't worry, they're not real peanuts, so those of you with peanut allergies can walk on it. This is likely that's a real story, by the way, when that pavement debuted. I don't know if people know this. When that pavement debuted, there were moms with kids with peanut allergies that complained, and Disney had to tell them that the peanuts were not real in the pavement. Either way, this is likely the beginning of a full Adventureland pavement refurbishment, so we'll see more of this eventually. Now you're looking at a closer shot of those paw prints. We assume it's meant to represent all of the animals that we know inhabit Adventureland. So you'd see there are dogs' footprints. The only dog we know in Adventureland would be the dog with the keys at Pirates of the Caribbean. There's bird footprints, so maybe the birds from the Enchanted Tiki Room. There's hooves, so the zebra or other animals from the Jungle Cruise, perhaps. Again, this is all just guessing, but either way. Getting rid of plain pavement for more of this, I guess, for lack of a better term, more thematic pavement at Magic Kingdom. We saw some of this in Frontierland last year. They did more of the horseshoe prints in the ground by the, may it rest in peace, the shooting gallery. But I'm sure that pavement will stay for the lounge, but nonetheless. Yeah, let us know in the comments how you feel about it. I don't think I like it. I don't know how I feel. I don't know. Adventureland, that section of Adventureland's kind of more the, it's kind of like you're in town, so having like a sandy, grassy path with all the buildings feels a little weird. You're pretty far from like the Agrabah area, so I don't know if it should be sandy. I don't know. I gotta go see it in person. According to DVC News, the Disney Vacation Club member lounge in EPCOT will be rebranded as the Disney Vacation Club Imaginatrium, a member lounge. People in the crowd are shaking their heads. Oh no. In addition to the new name, the lounge will get an updated paint scheme by PPG Paints and an engaging new exhibit of archival photos and images and more. The EPCOT lounge located in the Imagination Pavilion has been closed for refurbishment since June. A temporary lounge was available at the Odyssey Pavilion. The permanent lounge was originally scheduled to reopen on July 14th, but remains closed with no reopening date. Supposedly, this is because the elevator is supposed to be updated, but still hasn't at this point. As I just mentioned moments ago, of course, another DVC lounge is under construction at the Magic Kingdom in Frontierland. That's probably why they had to give this its own unique name, so people don't get them confused. Although, if you're getting a lounge in the Magic Kingdom confused with the lounge at EPCOT and you're a Vacation Club member, we may have some problems. Walt Disney World has announced a slate of offerings for Hispanic and Latin American Heritage Month, including the extension of the Celebración Encanto show at EPCOT. As well, the beautiful traditional sounds of mariachi that you all know and love will arrive at EPCOT on September 15th. I don't know why it says they arrive. Mariachi Cobra is always there, but they'll be performing on select days and times with a limited time experience, and a familiar amigo might stop by to enjoy the performance, so remember to keep your eyes peeled. Guests at Animal Kingdom can learn to draw Dante from Pixar Animation Studios' Coco and meet Hispanic Pixar animator Ana Ramirez at the Animation Experience at Conservation Station. New merchandise that pays homage to Disney's Hispanic and Latin American-inspired characters will be available at Walt Disney World Resort as well. There's a new collection of items inspired by Coco that'll be available soon. This program is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsor, Be Our Guest Vacations. Your dream vacation begins with Be Our Guests and their concierge team of expert vacation planners. Head on over to beourguestvacations.com/WDWNT and their team will design your next magical vacation from the Walt Disney World and Disneyland resorts to the Disney Cruise Line, Adventures by Disney, and more. They're also able to book unforgettable VIP tours where you and your group can experience the ultimate park day. And the best part is their concierge services are 100% free. See, people, we're going to make this happen. People are going to know to yell free. We'll establish this. So book today. Walt Disney World has announced the full list of attractions that will be available during extended evening hours at Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom this fall. Extended evening hours are offered on select dates for guests staying at Disney Deluxe, Deluxe Villa Resorts, or other select hotels. The extended Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom hours replace those at Magic Kingdom, which instead offers Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party in the fall and winter. Extended hours at Hollywood Studios will be from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Dates announced so far are September 25th, October 2nd, and October 16th. The following attractions will be open. There's Alien Swirling Saucers, Runaway Railway, Smuggler's Run, Muppet Vision 3D, Rock and Roller Coaster, Slinky Dog Dash, Star Tours, Tower Terror, and Toy Story Mania. Note that, like last year, Rise of the Resistance will not be available. That's nice. Extended evening hours will be available. Get ready, folks. These are some real extended evening hours at Animal Kingdom from 6 to 8 p.m. It's going to be a late night. With only October 11th announced thus far, the following attractions will be open. There's Flight of Passage, Dinosaur, Everest, It's Tough to Be a Bug, Navi River Journey, and Triceratops Spin. With only 4 months to go until the opening of Disney Vacation Club's new Island Tower at the Polynesian Villas and Bungalows, we spotted Moana's Outrigger boat in what will be the splash pad inspired by the animated film. Of course, concept art of this area and the tower were shared at D23 just a few weeks ago. The canopy was added to the framework we previously covered in our last update, but now you're looking at a closer shot of Moana's Outrigger boat. If it follows the concept art, we expect this to be the centerpiece of the splash pad area. This angle offers a better view of said splash pad. The concrete surrounding the boat would be where the water features will eventually be installed. The Island Tower will open to guests on December 17th, 2024. I'm going to stop for a second and mention, I went to Magic Kingdom the other day. We rode the monorail, which I don't do very often, but I rode the monorail and I wasn't even paying attention, and I looked up and I saw this building, and just an instant feeling of ew overcame me. It just does not look good. I hope they magically turn a corner the next 4 months, because it is just not a good looking building. It is really, even compared, like Riviera is not my favorite hotel, but even compared to the Riviera, this thing is, I don't know if it's because it's painted brown and beige, maybe that's why, which I know those are the Polynesian colors. They just don't look good on stucco or like cheaper materials, and I think that's part of the problem here, but it's rough. It's real rough. And I hope it gets better, but I'm not holding my breath on this one. Users digging through the data of the Disneyland app have discovered signs of a possible Lightning Lane Premier Pass that will be coming soon. Reddit user Theme Park IQ shared the details at the Disneyland Reddit. The image you're looking at now and the text could be found in the latest Disneyland app update. It's possible the Premier Pass option will allow guests to purchase and make Lightning Lane selections in advance. Of course, Walt Disney World introduced that option in July when they rebranded Genie Plus to Lightning Lane Multi-Pass. Disneyland Resort also rebranded its line skip offerings but did not introduce advanced purchases or selections. The Premier Pass could also be a different kind of package. Disney hasn't announced any details or plans, but they could always change. Hong Kong Disneyland, Shanghai Disneyland, and Disneyland Paris do offer packages where essentially you can access either all or most of their line skipping services, so whatever attractions offer them. But Tokyo Disney Resort, meanwhile, lets you buy individual line skip. The similarity there is the word Premier, right? So at those resorts, a lot of them call it Premier Access. We're seeing that word Premier here again, so maybe there's some sort of alignment here. We don't know yet, but it would make sense. Obviously, there is less trip planning that people do at Disneyland Resort. Walt Disney World guests are, what's the nicest way to put this, intense in their trip planning. Because, in LA, there is a much larger amount of guests that are local, and so maybe they just decide like the day before they want to go to Disneyland. But here, people generally plan months, if not years, in advance. So those are the differences. That being said, I'm sure there are some Disneyland Resort hotel guests or people that do plan those trips far in advance that would like that option, and we'll have to see what this ends up being, but it's just a rumor for now. But if it's already in the app and that, that very official looking logo is already in the app, then it's probably coming, and it's probably coming soon. The giant Mickey jack-o'-lantern has been installed on Main Street at Disneyland Park just in time for the start of Halloween time. The enormous carved pumpkin that has been a staple during the event for the last 15 years has been installed in its usual place in Town Square on Main Street, USA. Mickey's face is carved into both sides of the pumpkin, and two smaller yet still very large pumpkins have been installed as his ears. One side of the pumpkin shows Mickey smiling and winking. The other side of the pumpkin depicts Mickey smiling with both of his eyes open. And at the hub in front of Sleeping Beauty Castle, jack-o'-lanterns featuring fan-favorite characters representing the various lands of the park have been installed as well. These have been a staple for many years as well, with Roger Rabbit representing Toontown. There's Buzz Lightyear representing Tomorrowland. They have Tarzan representing Adventureland, which is weird because he's not there anymore. They took his tree away, but he's still there. Tinkerbell is there for Fantasyland. Critter Country, appearing maybe for its last year, we would assume, has Winnie the Pooh. They have Woody for Frontierland as well. And then Jack Skellington represents New Orleans Square because of Haunted Mansion Holiday. Halloween time at the Disneyland Resort will officially begin on Friday, August 23rd. We, of course, will be there to bring that all to you. Eric's actually heading out. I decided to let Eric leave since he's been cooped up here all summer. So Eric is going to be heading out to Disneyland, and you'll find all that coverage starting on Friday. Disneyland Resort is set to also make changes to the Neverland tribe scene aboard Peter Pan's flight following the updates at Walt Disney World, according to the Orange County Register. Walt Disney Imagineering will make the cultural sensitivity changes to the attraction that were recently unveiled at the Magic Kingdom, with the new scene depicting Tiger Lily with dignity and cultural authenticity. Disneyland expects to update the Neverland tribe scene with changes similar to those made at Magic Kingdom, according to the resort officials. Peter Pan's flight is currently not scheduled for refurbishment at Disneyland through September 30th, but Disneyland has said the operating calendar can change at any time. Disneyland officials confirmed to the OC Register that the timing of the changes has not been set yet. But the new Neverland Tribe scene on the ride at Magic Kingdom shows Tiger Lily and her great-grandmother on a spinning turntable in front of 3 new teepees, while other members of her tribe play a nearby drum. The teepees depicted in other art throughout the queue and load area were updated as well. You can watch the new scene in a video right here on our channel. On a recent ride aboard the Mark Twain riverboat, we discovered that the pre-recorded audio now refers to Critter Country by its new name, Bayou Country, 3 months ahead of the expected name change. At D23, it was announced that Critter Country will be renamed Bayou Country when Tiana's Bayou Adventure officially opens on November 15th, later this year. However, on a recent ride on the Mark Twain riverboat, we noticed that they've already made those changes. The current audio is as follows. While you're in Bayou Country, you might want to grab a paddle and try your hand at the Explorer canoes. Previously, of course, it said Critter Country, which was the home of the canoes. Bayou Country does remain closed while construction takes place on Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Guests can once again fully loop Disneyland Park as the path between Bayou Country and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge has reopened with a new look. For the first time since July 8th, guests can walk between the Haunted Mansion and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Previously, guests were turned away by construction walls that blocked access to the path, and you had to walk all the way around. But now you don't have to do that anymore. Guests can now walk along essentially where the queue begins for Tiana's Bayou Adventure. You could also walk around the bottom level of the Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree. The restaurant is set to replace the Hungry Bear restaurant with Country Bear Jamboree theming. It is not open yet. The bridge portion of the pavement that is meant to look like wood has been touched up, though it hasn't been replaced. However, as we continued our walk, we discovered brand new pavement made to look like dirt. This section of the walkway leads past the quote-unquote secret path to Harbor Galley, which has yet to reopen. Wood and construction walls still block off the area, and the new path eventually gives way to the gray walkway that leads in front of Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree and eventually to Galaxy's Edge. And while construction walls still block Tiana's Bayou Adventure, it seems as though the dirty pavement will extend. I don't know if the pavement's dirty. It looks like dirt. Will extend into that area. And continuing down the path, we got a great look at the new Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree sign. The new iteration of the sign features much more colorful wording than the old sign did. And guests can now sit at tables beneath the upstairs section of the Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree. However, the stairs that lead upstairs are blocked off, of course. But the restrooms, don't worry, folks, the restrooms are available for the time being, as is the fuel rod machine. A new Ursus H. Bear mural is visible at that Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree. We're just going to find out how many times in the show today I could say the name of that restaurant. But the refurbished and reimagined restaurant is not yet open, as we just mentioned, but we were able to see this from the Mark Twain. Ursus H. Bear is the founder of Grizzly Hall. This mural features him in a chef's hat instead of his iconic top hat, which is the one he bestowed upon his grandson, Henry. On either side of him are the years 1848 and 1928. The portrait is surrounded by white filigree, and Ursus H. Bear is printed on one side, and Gur Illmaster is on the other side, indicating Ursus also founded the Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree. He was quite the entrepreneur. The Country Bear Jamboree used to be at Disneyland Resort. It opened there on March 4th, 1972. It closed on September 9th of 2001 to be replaced by the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. But the Hungry Bear remained, and references to the Country Bears, of course, are also in the Pooh Corner shops over there as well. But now they will have a larger presence once more. New ALT series units can now be built at Droid Depot in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland. ALTs were first introduced in Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and then featured in The Mandalorian. This marks the 4th unique droid series available for building in the experience. The price to build one will be $99.99, as it is for the other droids as well. Previously, you can only do R Series, BB Series, and C Series droids. The ALT series bodies are the same as those found on the R Series droids. The photo you're looking at now is of an R Series droid body and dome with the ALT legs, which was what the cast members had available during our visit. We were able to view the legs, which are unique to the ALT design. The legs are extendable. The gray hexagonal part of each leg doesn't move, but the bottom black part actually drops down. The extender that drops from the hexagon is black with a subtle etched design, and the legs can extend to various lengths, so after building their droids, guests can adjust them. There's also a new droid backpack for $59.99. It features a transparent window that allows guests to show off their droids. Beneath the window is a beige droid access panel. Droid Depot and the shop's logo appear on a gray tag to the right of the access panel, and one side of the backpack displays a silver industrial automation logo above the words Industrial Automation Astromech Droids. There are elastic loops for storing attachments and accessories as well. Not sure when this is going to arrive at Disney World yet, both the new droids or the bag, but usually it's a little bit after Disneyland. Disney Cruise Line shared a first look at the Disney Imagination Garden, the central hub of the upcoming Disney Adventure. Disney Imagination Garden is one of 7 themed areas on the Disney Adventure. Disney described it as an enchanting valley that will transport guests into the pages of well-loved Disney stories alongside their favorite characters. This vibrant open-air space acts as the ship's atrium, and in the garden is a state-of-the-art theatrical stage, 2 quick-service eateries, a bar, and a selection of garden view staterooms. Recalling the pages of a classic pop-up storybook, Disney Imagination Garden's playful paper cutout styled landscapes will be embellished with decorative foliage of blossoming flowers, shaped topiaries, tall trees, and cascading vines. And among the decorative greenery and trellises, guests will be able to spot a mix of popular characters, iconography, and fan-favorite Easter eggs from Disney, Pixar, and Marvel stories. The Garden View staterooms are a new category for Disney Cruise Line. That would be because they bought an existing cruise ship. With the verandas overlooking the Disney Imagination Garden, the space will be bookended by the garden stage and a courtyard. A large open lawn leads to a grand staircase, and adorned arches and layers of leafy tree branches with hanging lanterns create amphitheater-style seating. And here guests will view Avengers Assemble. The courtyard is at the top of the staircase, surrounded by lofty trees designed to look like storybook cutouts featuring familiar animal characters, and a topiary of Sorcerer Mickey appears to orchestrate the storybook magic with his wand. Above the courtyard is a 3-deck tall work of art depicting a storybook castle inspired by various Disney castles and as well the theme park ones. It features nods to Walt Disney Pictures Castle, the Le Château de la Belle au Bois d'Armont from Disneyland Paris, and as well Rapunzel's Castle. Sketches by Disney artists Herb Ryman, Frank Armitage, and Ivan Earl will also influence the artwork, which sits above a decorative waterfall surrounded by a wave motif. And the 2 quick-service eateries are inspired by The Jungle Book and Moana. They both have indoor and outdoor seating. The indoor patios have views of the garden stage. Mowgli's Eatery serves Indian cuisine, including vegetarian and regional dishes with a Disney twist. And Grandma Tala's Kitchen is a quick-service restaurant inspired by the vibrant scenery and island flair of Moana, with a menu showcasing the diverse flavors of the Pacific and Asia. Of course, the Disney Adventure sets sail out of Singapore beginning in 2025. But we're not done with the Disney Adventure yet, because they announced that Deadpool will make his Disney Cruise Line debut as part of that Avengers Assemble show aboard the Disney Adventure. Deadpool will be among a legendary lineup of Marvel superheroes and villains who take the stage. This epic entertainment experience will feature jaw-dropping stunts and unbelievable special effects during an action-packed battle of good versus evil. And during the show, guests will witness firsthand the unbelievable powers of Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, Black Widow, Thor, Black Panther, the Scarlet Witch, Miss Marvel, Loki, Red Skull, Taskmaster, and more. Avengers Assemble is one of the signature shows coming to the garden stage aboard the Disney Adventure, complete with 3-deck high LED screens, special effects, and innovative theatrical tools. The cutting-edge garden stage will delight guests of all ages throughout each day of their voyage. More high-energy shows, character appearances, and more will be announced at a later date. A merchandise collection inspired by Tokyo Disneyland's new Reach for the Stars Nighttime Spectacular is coming soon to the park. The collection will be available on September 19th, the day before the show premieres. I wonder why. Could it be that the show will happen a day early? That never happens at Tokyo Disney, except every time. The Castle Projection Show features Walt Disney Animation Studios characters, Pixar characters, and Marvel superheroes. There's a reoccurring theme here, folks. Merchandise features, this is what we just talked about for the cruise ship. Merchandise features Cinderella Castle with some of the featured characters flying around it. Items include postcards, file folders, a sticker, pin, keychain, mini towel. There's a crew neck sweatshirt, a ball cap, a blanket, a tote bag, and a drawstring pouch. I like this stuff because it has sort of a classic look to it. It looks like old merchandise, even though it has modern characters on it. I think it's pretty neat. For the absolute latest on all these stories and those that didn't make it into today's show, be sure to check WDWNT.com and follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. You can support the entire team behind this show and others by joining the WDWNT Interglobe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT. Get access to exclusive content, discounted show and event tickets, and more. Special shout out to all of our WIGS members watching who make this show happen every week, and any WIGS members who are here in the audience. Anybody? Thanks for being here. Of course, if you want to join us for our studio audience, you get your tickets at events.wwnt.com. It is a limited time test. We're trying it out. We're going to see how it goes. For the worldwide leader in Disney parks news, this is Tom Corliss saying, enjoy the rest of your today. Have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.